Hey there, Literature and Writing 338 students. Welcome back to another lesson. Today we're going to be talking about some visual close reading, but we're going to start with talking about the difference between review and analysis. So in Unit 1, we spent some time working on adaptation theory, and we spent a lot of time working on making an argument and utilizing close reading to help support that argument with evidence. So close reading, as you hopefully know by now, is the primary methodology of literary studies, and it was developed by new critics in the 20th century, the early 20th century, about 100 years ago. So literary criticism has changed since then in a century, and we have retained the practice of close reading because it keeps us focused on what the text is actually doing. Analysis, remember, is focused on what message the text communicates. So close reading allows us to discuss how the text delivers that message. Dorothy? Is that you?
Why, yes, it is. I heard you talking about art and, film, and I just thought when I read a book or watch a film, the dreams that I dare to dream, they really do come true. Art, why art can be anything at all. Isn't that right?
Dorothy, you're absolutely right that people often think of art as subjective.
Subjective? Whatever does that mean?
Oh, well, subjective is based in personal feeling, something that is internal, and objective is the opposite of that, and that's based in quantifiable, observable data. So subjective based in internal feeling, objective based in external data.
Oh, but isn't art about feelings? Why, I remember the Tin Man. He sang, I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, and awful sentimental regarding love and art.
You're right. Art is designed to elicit emotions or feelings. That's what all types of art do, from film to literature to painting to dance to music. They elicit feelings. And because of that, our first reaction to all art, including literature and film, is entirely subjective. Our first reaction is just subjective. We like it or we dislike it. That's emotional. We have feelings about it based on how it made us feel. We like the feeling it made us feel, or we don't like the feeling it made us feel.
Why, yes, that's just like me in the Emerald City. Can you even dye my hair to match my gown? Jolly good town.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, Dorothy, exactly. You had an emotional response. You were pleased that they could dye your eyes. And then because of that, you liked the town, which I know because you said that the town was jolly good, which is a judgment, right? It's good or bad. We like it or we dislike it. But telling other people why you like something is review, not analysis. If you're like, it's a good movie because of this, it's a bad book because of that, it's a good town because of this, and so on, that's review. That is not analysis. The job of analysis is not to tell me whether you liked it or didn't like it. It doesn't make any difference whether you liked it or didn't like it for analysis. What we see on social media and what you see online most of the time is review. Social media is almost entirely review. Most of what you see in blogs and places like that are review. People are telling you whether or not to go see a film because they liked it or disliked it. There's very little analysis in that type of discussion usually. Sometimes review does have an aspect of analysis, which I will get to in just a minute.
Oh my. No.
Dorothy. Hang in there. You'll get it, Dorothy. So analysis, unlike review, is far less subjective. Analysis has nothing to do with whether you like or dislike a text. You can analyze a text you hate just as easily as you can analyze a text you love. Analysis is a methodology that relies on quantifiable data from the text. The text is our data set. That's where the close reading comes in. Our job is to tell what the message is based on that data set that we have. It doesn't matter whether or not we like the message. That's not really the point of analysis. Now, there is a small overlap between review and analysis, And this comes most often in the conclusions and introductions of pieces, but mostly the conclusions. Once we figure out what the message is, often then we use that to explain why we like or don't like a text. So we like the message of a text. That's a subjective claim. What the message is less subjective. There is a little bit of subjectivity to it, but you have to base it in the text. So there's an objectivity to it too, in the sense that it's based in quantifiable data. You can't just argue anything. You can't make claims that you can't support with the data. There has to be evidence from the text, and the text is that data set. Every field that uses data then analyzes or interprets the data, and we're doing the same thing. In this case, the data is a primary text. In the sciences or the social sciences, maybe it's a set of results from an experiment. But for us, the data is that text, and then we have to interpret that data.
Oh, Professor, will you help me? Can you help me? I want to learn to do analysis.
Absolutely. The rest of the lesson is going to focus on how to do visual close reading with films, like the one you're in, Dorothy. We're going to need some examples, so I hope you're going to stick around for the rest of the videos.
Oh, I will. Somewhere
See you soon.
over the rainbow, bluebird